Yes, guys, big up everyone who's locked in, like and subscribe if you guys haven't done so already. We are through to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. We've beaten the mighty Barnsley. We've got revenge for 2008, where they left me in tears as a year five student, just watching us get panned and having to go to school on an early Monday morning knowing we lost to Barnsley. But here we are, 1-0 Chelsea. The remontada has come round from the last 12, 13 years, but that didn't feel like the most convincing of performances. I'll give Tammy the credit because he got the goal, basically our man of the match, but there's not really a lot of options to choose from. We really didn't look that good today. I think I'll give Barnsley credit because they could have sat back. They could have played like pussies today, especially after we spanked them 6-0 in the League Cup as well. But they didn't. They played a high line. They gave us a really strong performance as well. They packed out the midfield and made it very hard for us to try and control that area of the pitch. And we struggled. Like, there was a lot of shaky and bad performances. I think Ziyech, we're definitely going to have a chat about his performance because we were all saying that this would be a great chance for him to showcase why he should be starting for the team. And he came and dropped an absolute clanger. Kante as well, I'll give him credit because he's coming back from injury, but he did not look solid today in any way, shape or form. Billy Gilmour, I thought, was good offensively, but the midfield in general, we just struggled to have any sort of control in that area of the pitch. That's why we kept getting overloaded by Barnsley. I think they had double our chances by the end of the game, and we only had one shot the entire first half. Make no mistake about it, it was a struggle, and Barnsley gave us a really serious game. We are also going to talk about the players that we potentially missed in this match as well, but we're going to get the panel in quickly. We're going to find out what they're going to say. First off, Wayne, chat to me, man. What was your thoughts on the game today, bro?
It was a dogged performance. Like you said on it, no one played well. Hudson-Odoi, I thought, was probably one of the better players today. Again, I think Emerson even had a good game for what he did today. I think he did all right. But let's be totally real. Barnsley, they played the game and they took it to us, and we was lucky. We was lucky, and I'm just fortunate that we turned it around and got our revenge from 2008. But like I said, it was not a good game. It wasn't a good game, but we won. We're through. Sheffield United next. Let's be having ya. Here we go.
Yeah, I mean, we'll take it just for the W that it is because it could have been a lot more embarrassing. We could be sitting here about to go into extra time, and that would be even worse on our players' fatigue going into the next few games. But as we played as a team, it didn't really look as cohesive as we wanted to see. Like, what do you think we struggled with for today?
I think it was, like you said, midfield. I don't think the midfield was balanced. Unfortunately, I think they've overrun our midfield. And to be honest, I think it's them. They pressed us. They dominated us throughout the game in every single way. We couldn't get a rhythm. We couldn't string passes together like we normally could. It weren't. And I think in the middle, like we said about Billy Gilmour and Kante, but our biggest disappointment today, the biggest one in that midfield, just before that, was Ziyech. He done some of his touches today. One of them, like we can remember, he literally come off his shin and went near our box, and they could have scored from it.
Yeah, this one, it was a sticky one on the performance from Hakim Ziyech. We'll delve into Hakim Ziyech a little bit later as well because I do want to have a real talk about where he fits in Thomas Tuchel's plans, but it just wasn't inspiring, and I don't want to just use that as an excuse to scapegoat Ziyech for the performance because barely anybody looked really exciting today except for Hudson-Odoi, Tammy Abraham because he was pretty decent defensively as well as getting the goal today. Billy Gilmour in phases, Zuma, Christensen in phases. Other than that, like there weren't really a lot of positives to take out today. Like I can't really find too much ways to be optimistic about it because we've gone literally from spanking them 6-0 to barely scraping a 1-0 win against them this time round. Dag, chat to me, man. Thoughts on today's game?
Yeah. Again, it was Look, this is the one thing that that I'm really worried about. Not worried about, but concerned under this new system is we're not getting consistent game time with the same team sheet. So like if we go up against Madrid in what is it, 2 weeks time now, right? Not even, right? If we go up against Madrid and we pull up with a team sheet that has played once or twice together, I don't think we're gonna have a chance in that game. So now, like I'm a little bit. I understand that this was an FA Cup game. It was Barnsley or whatever, right? But I think it's about time that we start seeing a team sheet that really plays like the same team sheet, just gets consistent game time, because we're seeing what happens when we keep putting out different teams. The chemistry's not there. The connection that we want to be seeing, the one and twos, the give and goes, they're not there. Like the second Tino Andrin came on, right? He put 3 through balls in. None of our runners were actually making the runs. They decided to stop, and it was good balls as well. They just decided to stop. It just shows that we don't have enough like chemistry within the team. Of course, that'll come within time. But I'm not saying we're running out of time, but we need to speed up the process a little bit. Like I would prefer to have that process sped up a little bit. Concerning about today, it was just a dead game, guys. Like it was boring. Like as much as I love Chelsea, as much as I want to support this team, right? Stats don't lie, right? They had more shots than us. They had more shots on target, right? 50% of the play was played in our third, like in our side of the field. 50%. Are you kidding?
Yeah, we could not play the ball out the back to save our lives today.
I don't understand why we kept trying to do that as well. Like I didn't support Tuchel when we were deciding who to pick, right? But now that he's here, I'm gonna support him, right? I know that he is a manager that likes to switch up his tactics, the way that he likes to switch up his formation. We saw that when we came back in the second half and we switched to a 4 in the back. But I want to see a little bit more, I want it to be a little bit more dynamic with the way that we play out the back. We have Tammy up there. He's 6'4". Even if we're giving the ball away sometimes, at least boot it down the field once or twice so that we don't have to, because we have our own press, right? So if we force them to put the ball in their half and we press them, I bet you we'd win the ball back because we just have better players. But the problem was we have defenders that are getting pressed. Our midfielders weren't getting pressed like that, right? The midfielders, of course, they'll be able to pass it through it, but the defenders are going to struggle a little bit. People like Kurt Zuma, who Vitmus makes he's consistently pointing out that he's really not that good with the ball under his feet. So we need to make sure that we're putting up a team that works together. Like today, I like that we saw Christensen and Zuma together because one, he's not really good at playing the ball under his feet, but Christensen really is good at it. So we were able to see how they were able to bail each other out at those times. Emerson was playing that center back spot. It wasn't really convincing. Rudiger came on, and he was more of just a presence that really, I don't know, it just helped us out, especially because imagine if we hadn't switched that formation, they would have came at us for those first 10 minutes of the second half, relentlessly, pressing, all that, right? But within those 10 minutes, we were able to gather ourselves. We were able to get those little passing lanes together. We were able to understand the formation that we wanted.
Talking about the second half.
Yeah, the second half.
The second half, it was good because we were more composed on the ball.
Exactly.
But it came as a disadvantage as well because I thought there were so many times where we just struggled to find passing lanes forward. We had passed it so many times between the back four. We couldn't find anywhere in the middle to try it. We try and find the ball into N'Golo Kante. We just wouldn't be able to progress the ball forward from there. There was a lot of question marks about our patterns of play in this game, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, one point that everyone is trying to make in the comment is that the pitch was terrible, but unfortunately, they're professional footballers. As much as I would love to give them that as an excuse, I can't. They got to learn how to play with it. And today, the point that you were making, Lewis, I feel like, I'm sorry, but Ziyech was really bad today. There was times early in the second half and towards the middle of the second half where he was just giving the ball away. He just couldn't hold on to the ball. So, I mean, of course, he hasn't gotten consistent game time under Tuchel. So it's not gonna be one of those where bench him or whatever. It's just maybe we could who are we going up against this weekend? Newcastle, right? I'd love to see Ziyech against Newcastle. That's a perfect team for him to go up against, right? And for the question that you asked earlier, what position or how does he fit into this team? That inside forward position is a very nice spot for him. If we have, maybe not Tammy, but just a centralized attacker, right? And then Giroud. And then if we have, or Tammy, it doesn't matter. And then we have Werner on the left and Ziyech on the right. I feel like we'd be able to do some business with that. Especially if we have Hudson-Odoi on the wing back, we can do something with that.
So no Mount.
Again, just so that we can get consistent game time for Ziyech, because I don't want we know what Mount is. Like we dropped him for a game, he came back and he played well. So I'm from my point of view, I think if we drop Mount right now and we put him back in as a sub, like second half, I feel like he's not going to drop off in the way that Ziyech has when we dropped him. You feel me? So like we took Ziyech off the team and now he's not doing anything when he comes on as a bench player or in a cup game. Like if we had put Mount on today, like he would have done well. If we had taken him off and put him on next week, he would have still done well because he has that consistent game time. So I feel like Mount at this point, he has the most minutes in our team. So if he takes a game or two off, I don't think he's going to – obviously he's going to be mad. Oh, yeah, I want to be playing every game. But just take the time off. And that'll get Mount even fresher for Atletico Madrid.
Yep, exactly that. I do want to – actually, Koz is here. We haven't had his thoughts yet. Koz, chat to me about your thoughts on the game today, bro.
Bro, it was a next performance, bro. I'm gonna keep it real. Like, man, these lot, Barnsley, they had a clear game plan against us. You know what I'm saying? They kept on pressing us, very physical. The team really couldn't click at the end of the day. Like in the midfield, we were really missing out on that pivot, that Jorginho and Kovacic pivot. There was really there wasn't that much chemistry between Billy Gilmore and Kante. Like it was clear it was the first time these two are playing with each other at the end of the day. Like, yeah, man, it just shows us today how much we need Mount and Kovacic and Jorginho in the team because of that synergy they bring, whether it's off the ball or on the ball, and that chemistry they have. So yeah, man, it's just I'm happy that Tammy got the goal. Ziyech was very underwhelming for me. Who else? Pulisic was very underwhelming, but like it's we move, man. There's gonna be these type of results that you have during the season where the team doesn't play good, but the most important thing is how you react from these type of performances at the end of the day. I think any other team, if they played that same way, we were there for the taking. But there was a couple standout performances. Like for me, AC was quality for me. Like he was one of the standout players in the team. The way he passed the ball. His positioning was good. Zuma for me, at the end of the day, when you saw Zuma at the start, he was very shaky. But when the game came on, how do I say it? Like as the game progressed, he got into his role. And yeah, man, it's one of them ones, man. There was a lot of shocking performances, but it's upwards and onwards for the lads, man.
Yeah, I do think it's a good time as well to speak on it because it wasn't just Hakim Ziyech had the poor performance on the wings as well. Both him and Christian Pulisic really didn't look that inspiring today. Well, what do you think is the case with them and Thomas Tuchel's system as well? Because we've been asking questions for both of them about how we can incorporate both of them into starting lineup. More about Hakim Ziyech too. Neither of them really made any cases as to why they should be breaking into starting 11 right now. What do you lot think of Ziyech's performance and what do you think he's missing right now? Dag, I'll start with you. Actually, no, Ryan, you go. We haven't heard from you yet.
What, on the game or on Ziyech?
Ziyech.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I just thought like when he got pressed today, he didn't really have the answers, and it was a bit too fast for him to find his options, and he just kept losing the ball. So I don't know. I feel like Ziyech against a low block team that's gonna have a lot of time and space to do things with runners is good, but when you get these pressing sides, and Ziyech came so deep as well, it was almost playing as like a centre mid that was just coming in to helping Kante and Gilmore because Kante is not so good on the ball. We had to try to progress up the field then, and we couldn't even play it long because we have Abraham who's not good at heading for his height. Then you had to have Hakim Ziyech coming back to help, but he kept on losing the ball, you get me, and it was a bit too fast for him. That's the thing, it was just fast for him. But I still have faith in Hakim Ziyech if we play like a low block side where he gets time and space on the ball, and then you have someone like a Werner or a Mount who's good at making runs. But against these pressing sides, I'm not too sold on Ziyech, especially in the role that Tuchel will use him, because I don't think he'll use him as a right winger because he likes his right wingers to be pacey and be good at dribbling like a Hakim Ziyech or like a Pulisic and a Hudson-Odoi, you get me? So yeah, so I think Hakim Ziyech will probably be like a right forward or a cam, but because we have Kante who will have to play because he's one of our best players, and important in this team. He's gonna have to come deep to help Kante. Unless it's Jorginho and Kovacic, he's gonna have to help out when we're getting pressed. But when we're getting pressed, you can't really get out the press like a Kovacic. You get me? And with Pulisic, and we're not speaking about Pulisic.
No. Go on to Pulisic as well, bro. Just go on. Let me know what you're thinking.
Pulisic, yeah, I don't even know if it's a Tuchel thing because I just think like this season, or we'll put it like this: after the Aston Villa or the Arsenal game, yeah, I don't know. Like after that, I feel like they might have told him to stop doing these explosive runs because like since the Aston Villa game, I haven't seen him do anything explosive anymore. You get me? And I don't know. I feel like because of the injuries and the niggles he's getting, he might have to adjust his play style because his one is so explosive. Like it's like Eden Hazard. He's gonna always get fouled, and that just leads him to get injured. You get me? So I just feel like now every time, every time he's playing now, he's just playing so cautiously. And the best Pulisic we know is the explosive one that's going to take man on and use his pace and dribbling to his advantage. You get me? But now it's just like he gets the ball and it's just moving a bit shook with it. You get me? So, and then Pulisic isn't the best passer and linking up play as well, and he can't really find a pass like that. So yeah, those are the two things and that. And then like quickly, my general thoughts on the game in it before you guys speak and that. I think it's just a key problem was the midfield, the two in midfield. I feel like they got overran too much. Kante and Gilmore just got like overran so much. I don't know if it's because of the height, the power in them, but they got overran. There was no really understanding of it. Kante's not good on the ball when pressing. He kind of lost it a lot. And yeah, Alonso as well didn't help because Alonso's best when he's just drifting in and he's finding himself in the box with a random goal. But when you actually need to build up play, he can't really do anything. And then yeah, like that's the thing. I feel like if we had Kovacic at the start of the match, then it would have been a lot easier for us because he's very, very, very press resistant, along with Jorginho as well. But with Gilmore and Kante today, they look like they met up in a car park and just swang the boots on, bro. Like there was no understanding there. Gilmore as well got overrun at times, but was better than Kante, I'd say. And yeah, that's about it. But we can't overreact with this, but we can't take it so negative because we still don't have our best defender in Thiago Silva. We have Kepa playing, Jorginho and Kovacic, who have probably been the two best players under Thomas Tuchel, not playing as well. Mason Mount, who's been probably the third best player or the fourth, whatever, under Tuchel as well. So yeah, and a lot of players who came in who haven't played as well, like Pulisic, like Ziyech. But yeah, like I just think we have to get the job done, man. And when you're not playing well as well, you need to grind out these results. The problem with us towards the end of Lampard, we were playing terrible and we couldn't grind out results. You get me? So with Tuchel, like if we keep doing this, I won't mind because at the end of the day, when you look back on this 5-10 years, you're not going to speak to your kids about we had a terrible performance this day because you probably won't remember. You'll just look at the scoreline and that. You get me? So sometimes you're going to have to grind out results. I've seen it with Man City, Liverpool, the great teams. They have to grind out results against teams that play better than them. You get me? But you man could speak for a bit. I've been waffling on for a little bit.
No, that's cool. Glad to get your thoughts on it as well. Dag, you had a little laugh when you looked at Slen's comment here as well. Do you think it's a case of adapting, or do you think it's a case of other issues? I am seeing people talking about the pitch, and I don't want to talk about the pitch too much. The only thing I cared about the pitch was that nobody got injured. As long as no one gets injured, I don't care because we know what Pulisic's hamstrings are like. He's come off in one piece. I'm good.
Yeah, no, there's actually like cases in American football, right? Where like there's the New York Giants, they play in MetLife Stadium, right? And it is considered like one of the worst pitch, like it was one of the worst football field. Like players get injured every single week on that pitch. This is different, right? It might not be as green as you guys like it to be, but it's not like I understand the players were slipping and everything, but it's not like the ball was just bouncing up and down and there was holes in the ground. And like it's not that bad. And again, they're professional footballers. Like I don't give them excuses. Like if they can do keepy ups, like if they can do 200 keepy ups, you can play keepy up if you think the pitch is so bad. It's not that bad, bro. Look, at the end of the day, today was a bad performance. Just look at the stats. They had more shots on us. It was a shitty performance. The entire game was played on our side of the pitch. It's a shitty performance. It was terrible. Like again, there's reasons for that. But at the end of the day, it was a bad performance. So we have to understand that, and we have to look forward, and we have to call out what we saw was bad. We saw that Ziyech was bad. We saw that Pulisic was bad. We saw Alonso was bad. We saw Emerson was invisible, right? Like we saw, like it's not like it's not like the pitch scored the goal for us, right? Look, I want to point that out. Billy Gilmore, that was a great pass. That was a beautiful pass, and then that touch that Reece James took to take it forward just a little bit, like a winger, perfect. It was beautiful, right? I thought it was completely offside, and then they put the lines on the TV, and I guess it was good. So we're all good. And then Bambi, shout out my guy. He finally stood tall. He saved us. He scored a goal on one end, and then he saved the goal on the other end like a goalie, man. I'm like, just because we've been giving him a lot of talk, and yeah, he didn't have the strongest performance today, but he was being very physical. He was backing up into his players. There was some instances where he could have just ran onto the ball instead of trying to like muscle the defender off and just use his pace. But that's one thing that he needs to work on. His decision making on whether he's going to use strength or whether he's going to use pace, like that's very off. Like he tries to blend them together. But he really just needs to back up into the player and then just go instead of constantly trying to run with him and keep him at arm's length, right? So it's just the decision making. Again, he's still a young guy. But for now, I don't think he should be starting in the team. I personally feel like we should get another striker during the coming window. I feel like we are, and I don't think it should be as a third striker. I feel like we should be getting a striker to play. We should be getting a number one striker because I don't feel like Werner can play in the middle. So it would be preferred for him to just play in that inside forward role that Tuchel wants to run, and playing with a main striker, target man up top. That would be my preference, right? But with Ziyech, dude, again, it's just a case of fitting into the Premier League, right? Or in this case, it's all of England. Like it's just too physical. Like I don't understand why players don't understand that. Like if just look at the midfielders in the Premier League, just look at them. Like if you like they. Like it's incredible to me. Like players like Mark Noble, players like Oriol Romeu, like just players that are still getting older, but understand that they have to stay physically strong in order to stay in the Premier League, right? One problem I had with Jorginho was that he wasn't as fast. He wasn't fast enough to not be putting on muscle, if that makes sense, right? As a center midfielder, I prefer my midfielder to have a little bit more muscle, right? And that's why one midfielder, if I could have like a wish list, it would be Leon Goretzka because he's just a fucking, he's just a beast, bro. Like I would want him to just slot into that midfield, just take care of everything, right? But again, like with Ziyech, I feel like it's just a matter of time. Like we're gonna give. I understand the reason why we don't want to give him time compared to Werner and compared to Havertz is because he's 26. He's played in the Champions League. He's whooped us in the Champions League, right? So it's not like we haven't seen the best of this man. But we have yet to see the best of Havertz and we've yet to see the best of Werner, right? But we've seen the best of Ziyech and we know what he can bring onto the pitch, right? And so that's the only thing I feel like we're not seeing, right? I feel like, again, as fans, our expectations are a little too high because, dude, he's being put at right wing, center mid, cam, 8. He has to drop back. He has to go forward. He has to, chase back. Like, there's so many. Like, Ziyech has, like, when I remember when we first signed him, Frank Lampard did a press conference and he was talking about him. And he's talking about his work ethic and the way that he tracks back and the way that he tries to. That he's really good at pressing as well, right? Mm. And when we came here, of course, we didn't utilize that as much as we wanted to in the first half of in the first half of the season, especially the pressing under Frank. But now that it's here, I feel like he will be a lot more effective because again,
but what you also got to take in, is that today, he played with not Jorginho, Kante and Gilmore, who I can't lie, today they just look like they met at the park and that for the first time and then certain the boots on, like I said before. So he had to come a lot deep, and you saw him in our half most of the time in the final third. You get me of their half. You get me. So that's what you got to take in count. Like when he played against Wolves, I thought it was good against Wolves. You had Jorginho and Kovacic there, who was just there to build up the play, and he kind of had a free role to just spray passes wherever he wants. So that's why I look at Ziyech and I think this could be the case, but it's not the be-all and end-all of it, because I want to see him play with Jorginho and Kovacic behind him, because I feel like they would have got us out of the press a lot easier and would have allowed a lot more space to Ziyech to do what he wants. And today, Kante and Gilmore, they both got overrun. And building up as well, Ziyech had to come because Kante can't really build up the play. And Gilmore, I wouldn't say looked off, but it was getting overran for the most part because of his height and his build. So I think Ziyech has to come like, and it was a very cagey game as well. Like when we play the Premier League, half of the Premier League just sits back, put 10 men behind the ball, have that one fast striker who's probably gonna score against you. You get me? So it's gonna be you rarely face this opposition. The only time you do is like Liverpool, Man City. That's about it. You get me? Probably Southampton at times, but the rest they just park the bus and put 10 men behind the ball and give you as much space as you want and leave it compact. And that's what Ziyech likes, because he likes to make runs and not runs. He likes to just spray balls and and just wait for runs to happen so he can find them from the likes of Werner. So that's why with Ziyech, I know he had a shocking performance today. Like I'm not taking anything away from that. Like this reminded me of Bakayoko against Watford. It was that bad. You get me? But like we can't look into like Ziyech too much and be like he's a flop for us. He's never gonna work under Tuchel. You get me? So that's all I'm saying. But today it was shocking. I'll be honest. Like,
there's a comment by Jester Vengeance. This is a very, very, very good point. He said everyone.
What is it?
That's what I'm saying.
This is very important. Fumo was playing center back. He was playing in the middle of the center back. So I'm gonna be perfectly honest. At the start of the game, Chelsea were disrespecting them. I'm talking, they were disrespecting them. They gave them no respect. They would take 3 touches and pass it side by side between the center backs. And they literally would just give the ball away. They're like, oh, what are you going to do? Here, just have it. Like, they really did not try to, like, you know how in the Premier League we put emphasis on our passes, the movement of play, right? Like, even though we have, like, 800 passes, every single one has an intent behind it. Today, it was just trying to, like, they were just trying to keep possession, or I don't know what they were trying to do. But there was no emphasis.
There's no passing lanes for them. That's the thing about the Barnsley press. I'll give them credit. Their press was strong today.
Yeah,
it made it hard for us to like think and make quick passes.
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time,
you know, it's because if they're pressing you and they're cutting off the passing lanes, the centre back should be looking for the ball over the top, because naturally the players come forward.
Yeah, that's why I think Werner would have been good in this game as well, because the amount of space they left behind, Werner, Werner would have ate that up. That's why I always thought that if Werner was in this game, I think with Hakim Ziyech there as well, with Christensen there, Emerson there and stuff, like the over the top 3 balls, I would have liked that. And that's something Abraham needs to utilize as well, man. Like, even if it doesn't come off once or twice, like, he's fast as well. For his height, he's really fast. He's probably faster than Giroud, and he's pretty fast. So he needs to utilize them over the top 3 balls, like, too many times. Like,
what I was talking about earlier, Ryan. Like, he literally doesn't choose. He doesn't choose. Like, I understand that the center backs are going to stick to you like glue, but he will literally try to keep them at an arm's length. He will not use his pace to just try and fly back past them. He will try to stay in front of them, but also like putting a hand on them, trying to make sure they're away, right? Yeah. So that they don't come around after he's already sprinted and just, put in a slide tackle or whatever. I don't know what he tries to do, but he just doesn't do it. And I feel like he thinks he has the ball playing skills of a winger in order to
he thinks he's Roberto Firmino.
Are you talking about Zuma?
And you can Abraham. Like, I think he needs to utilize his pace more, because enough times man seen him come deep and that to try to get the ball and that. And then I'm thinking that, bro, you're occupying someone's space and that, make a run in behind. And like, their defenders and that, they weren't really that fast when I looked at them. They would like to just head the ball out, put his foot through Abraham and that, and then Abraham was just coming deep like he's some prime Roberto Firmino, and you can link up the play and stuff. So I think if Abraham made them runs as well, even if they didn't come off and we didn't even try them, would have stretched out the game more for people like Callum Hudson-Odoi, Pulisic, Ziyech, you get me? So Abraham, he reminds me of Lukaku and that. Like, he will, He will frustrate you at times, but it will get you a goal. So that's why I wasn't surprised when he scored. I was celebrating it, but I wasn't surprised. I knew if there was one person to get the goal, it was going to be Abraham. Abraham's a goal scorer. Like, he'll get you goals no matter what. No matter how bad he plays, he'll get you a goal. He won't let that get to his head. He'll score a goal at the end.
Yeah, shout out Reece James as well, because that is pure unselfishness. Because I'm not going to lie, if that was me, if I took a first touch like that and set myself up beautifully like that, man, I'm taking a shot. I ain't passing it off, man.
Yeah, that was decent, bro. Tyrese, chat to me. Talk to us about today, mate.
Yeah, it was a very poor performance, but we move. Um, Honestly, you can't be so harsh on these players because I realized from when we beat Tottenham 1-0, like when there's sides that's pressing us, we tend to struggle a fair bit, and today just show that because a lot of these players got to get accustomed to this Tuchel press. You can't hear me, right?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go on.
As I was saying, we gotta get the team has to get adjusted to this new style of play, and they need to know how to cope with a press because we look just so lost without it. I honestly can't pinpoint one performance today that was like that I shake my hands to besides when Tammy Abraham scored. I think everyone just played really bad. Just everyone played bad. Tuchel got it wrong in by starting to left backs, but that's fine. It didn't yes, Alonso was a liability. He didn't play well at all. But at the end of the day, I thought that Alonso would have been a third centre back. He would be the left-sided centre back. I was hoping not because it could have been much worse. But yeah, I was not angry with the overall. I'm disappointed. Sorry about the overall performance, but I'm happy
Tyrese,
about
I
the
can't lie,
result.
your connection's bugging a little bit still.
It's bugging.
Yeah, you're coming in and out.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's just your sound keeps breaking in and out.
Oh, it's probably because we will have my phone position because I have my AirPods. As I was saying, yeah, we didn't play well at all, and these are the performances you get. You can't play well every single game. Like we're not playing Barcelona that could play well for that whole 2009 season. Every single game they played, it's a bad performance. You just gotta take it on your chest. It can't be that angry, really, because these players are still getting adapted to the new style of play. Yeah, but to be honest, Kante to me just was like poor today. Um, Fair enough, he wasn't in all the training sessions the boys were in before, and he doesn't really know the style of play of Tuchel as yet. But still, you're a world class player. You got to be performing better than that. And like, I just need people to stop like this slander on Kante. He's finished and all of this. Come on, man. Like Kante has been so good in the Premier League for the past 5-6 years now, and dropping a performance like this is terrible for his standards. The way how he's been playing recently on the eye test, how we see him play, it's fairly low for his standards, but he's not finished. Like, he could still walk any side midfield in the Premier League with 100% fantastic
No, I
players.
think it was just more the injury. He's still coming back from the injury, which is why he looked a bit slower in this game anyway.
I
Yeah,
just think
Gilmore didn't
I
help
just
him
thought it
too
was
much as well
yeah,
on
and
Yeah,
building up
everyone.
play.
I
it was a
want
bit of a dodgy partnership. I can't lie. I can't
Yeah, I
Yeah,
lie.
wanted
it
to
looked
see.
good on paper, but like,
Yeah,
yeah,
Mm.
I wanted to see the Gilmore account pivot see if it works, but one game today shows it's not looking too good.
mm.
Because
I
as
think
Ryan
the
gave a
height as well just
he gave
doesn't
a
help.
he gave a perfect explanation. Ryan gave a perfect explanation. They just be dipping in a car park and just like throw each other boots out and like, look, bro, like that pivot. Our midfield was they were just cutting through us like a hot knife through butter. Like it just wasn't the
Yeah,
pivot
that
wasn't
midfield
clicking.
was a fucking madness today. I
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
lie.
Yeah, I can't
I,
lie.
I
You had
still
Ziyech
believe.
there. You had Ziyech there. You had Ziyech there.
Yeah,
No, you first of all had
Mhm.
Gilmore there.
I
He
don't.
got overrun in the midfield and was misplacing passes for fun in that first half. Same with Kante, who I cut him some slack because came back from an injury as well. Who, injury or no injury, can't really play with the ball that well as good as Jorginho or Kovacic, and was also losing the ball for fun and throughout the game. And then you had Ziyech as well, who was trying his best Bakayoko impression today. Trying to lose the ball as much times as he can, you get me, and him coming deep as well. The press didn't help. So the midfield today just wasn't good as a whole. And as much as people hate Jorginho and Kovacic and that, but the reality is, yeah, it doesn't look as good to the eye, but it helps the team a lot when you got Jorginho and Kovacic. They're two ones who understand each other, one that can dribble out of press and one that has the capability, and Jorginho who can spray a ball over the top just doesn't do it enough. You get me? So people hate Jorginho and Kovacic because it doesn't look good on the eye, but reality is it helps the team a lot, man.
Yeah, they were well together. But I still personally believe we need to go in the market and find a good like ball playing midfielder, like a Seth Fabregas type that's a very good
Yeah.
like
I
a
think Vanna
very
Vanna
good
will eat up the chances because like high lines,
yeah
you have a ball
for sure.
playing midfielder who can spray the ball over the top for fun. And then you have Werner just running onto those who always makes runs as well.
Yeah.
The thing is, with people don't realize about Werner, yeah, some
Yeah.
people, yeah, is Werner makes so much good runs that are just seen unnoticed and that. So if we get someone like a Fabregas who used to pick out Diego Costa for fun, like half of
Yeah.
Diego Costa's goals at Chelsea is probably from a Fabregas long pass. You get me? Then Werner will eat up them chances, man.
And the thing is, yeah, and that
Big up
Fabregas and Kante pivot,
Conserge of crime.
it was so that Kante and Fabregas pivot was so good because Fabregas could have sit and he could have just sprayed the ball forward like all the time. He could stay anywhere. He could be at the halfway line and he would still pick a pass and Diego Costa would be able to get in behind. We need to get like a midfielder like that that's physical enough and that could have that ball playing like capability. I don't know who could be a
Maybe
player like
Reece
that.
James could try do it, like, cause he has a decent pass on him and he's pretty strong as well in it. But that's if buts and maybes.
That could work.
I'd like to see him there maybe for one game in it, and then just him sitting there, and then when he gets up as well, he can just do crosses from any positions if he wants, and then he might have maybe Kante or Kovacic just next to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all if buts and maybes. To be fair, he did that at Wigan.
Yeah, I want to be like with this. I wouldn't be surprised if this sort of with this sort of manager that we have that likes to try a lot of new things. Like today we seen that you just try to left-footed players at fullback. Like you see a lot. He does a lot of funny things, but it always work. Like I remember I was watching a PSG fan on YouTube, and they were like this is like the first time when they started playing Marquinhos as a DM, and this was like weird. And then the guy just looked like fantastic playing at DM. And if he could do that with like Reece James, it wouldn't surprise me if he plays in more midfield probably in a couple of years when his ball playing skills can improve a little bit more. But to me, I still think we need to go in the market and get like a very good passing midfielder that could sit, like a Cesc Fabregas type that can sit, or like a Nemanja, no, not Nemanja Matic, like somebody that could sit like Nemanja Matic but has the passing ability like Cesc Fabregas. I don't know if we could find one. It's going to be quite difficult. Like a player that we can get.
Jude Bellingham.
Would be like
Jude Bellingham. You think we're going to get Bellingham from Dortmund?
He can't sit, bro. He's not a defensive midfielder. He's not a defensive
Bellingham
midfielder.
ain't coming from Dortmund. Come on.
But he's
The
not
only way we should
literally
go
only
is
just signed
if
for
we
them.
buy him and then put him on loan for a couple of years and then get him back.
Yeah, no way he leaves.
Maybe like Courtois, I
doesn't
think.
fit in the Dortmund team because they are all out attack sort of team, right? But if you give him instructions to sit with another DM like a Kante, then he can learn to sit.
No, but would he join us straight from Dortmund after they just signed him literally in the summer as their big new prospect? I don't see it happening.
I don't see
think
that
if we buy him and then loan him to
Try and
Dortmund.
sell for a higher resale value at the end of it, so I don't see it happening.
I think it's all about if the Erling, if Erling doesn't go, if Jadon Sancho doesn't go, they have to sell one person. Like this summer, they have to sell one person. Like unfortunately, like their finances just aren't in the state where they can keep all their players. So if Erling and Jadon Sancho don't go, they have to sell one. Again, I want like for me, Holland is my number one target this summer. I don't feel like if we get a midfielder, our attack will become more potent. That doesn't make sense to me. Because
it depends. If we have a natural DM, we'll be able to transition better. That's been one of our biggest problems.
That's true, but at the same time, finishing chances have also been one of our biggest problems. Because
but same way we literally bought the problem. That's the player that's meant to solve those problems. He's just not firing right now. It doesn't mean we have to go out and get another one.
I understand, but I feel like he has never performed well unless he's had that other target man, or when he's performed his best is when he's had the target man. And we don't want a player to perform well. We want a player to perform at his best, right? So
But like,
But the thing
one
is, yeah,
player,
with Timo, yeah, if you watch Leipzig, he missed a lot of chances. Like I never knew it
Yeah.
at first, and I hold my hands up. But my man missed a lot of chances in that. But Nagelsmann's system created so many chances that when you look at the highlights of Werner, you'll just see his goals. And I think this guy's a top goal scorer. But he did miss quite a few chances for Leipzig, which is fine. Like the more chances you create, like attackers are always gonna miss chances, and that Jamie Vardy and Patrick Bamford has missed like probably more chances than Timo Werner, and Timo Werner's third in that list, but they're high up in the goal scoring charts. So the more chances you create for goal scorers, like you don't really see too many clinical goal scorers nowadays, in it. Like you might look
there
at
is
it.
on the market, and his name is Erling Haaland.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I agree with you. Look, you know,
Unfortunately,
bro,
as much as we understand, like we don't like I understand what you guys are saying, right? But the chance to get Erling Haaland is not like, oh, will he perform well or will he not perform well, right? Like the man at every step of his career has bagged goals. Like I'm talking goals, right? So it's not one of those, oh, maybe he won't, he just won't perform, right? Like the man was scoring screamers against PSG.
bro, Dag, you know what it is, bro. Listen,
Santiago Silva and Kimpembe. Like, come on.
You never know,
bro,
though.
bro,
Like
you
a
know
You
what
never know.
I've always been saying this, yeah. Lewis knows this from the start. From the first day I've met Lewis, yeah, I told him, Timo Werner is not a striker. He always plays on the left. I've always been saying this. And the difference between Erling Haaland and Timo Werner is that I think Timo Werner's conversion rate is around 42%, and then Erling Haaland's one, he's really clinical, it's around 60.
Oh, yeah,
That's-
it's ridiculous.
that's-
That's half the reason why I want this guy so bad, because he will
Yeah, I
eat
would love
those chances.
And the thing is, right, it's not just that. The movement you're going to get of Erling Haaland is completely different to Timo Werner. The positions he's going to get onto, the link-up play, is completely different. So we need to get this guy by any
And
means
if you look
necessary.
at the other side as well, Erling Haaland and Timo Werner in a 2-for-1 game, like that movement will ruin defenders. You got Kai, what's his name?
Hold on.
Flipping, what's his name? Erling Haaland going one way and then Werner going another way, and that, and then the space opening up for someone like a Mason Mount or something.
Or
So
a
yeah,
Havertz.
like,
Or a Havertz. Come on, that's crazy.
bro, there's a
that
lot
would
of options.
destroy. That would be nasty.
Look,
Bro.
this is
Like
the thing, right?
before you continue, yeah. I mean, because I wasn't finished speaking, but quickly, the midfielder that I would like that could like sit and could still play like that good ball would be like a Joshua Kimmich from Bayern, but we're not gonna get him. So it doesn't make any sense me fantasizing about him.
That is probably my favorite like player in the world, but unfortunately,
We ain't getting Kimmich. Like,
that's like trying to steal.
You could try scout. There's a lot of
Like trying to take Rooney from
Yeah,
Neymar.
the French league. We need to scout in the French league. There's a lot.
bro.
Of,
Raid the
I'd
French
see
league,
Germany.
man.
Yeah.
There's like everyone goes for big names and that. Just like that, if we proper scout for someone, there has to be someone out there, man.
There
Like
are.
go
Yeah.
to the African leagues, the flipping the French league, and that, the French leagues, the French team squad is illegal, bro. We have to try
Bakary
and rate
Samari
that.
is a quality player.
A good
Boubakary
player,
Samari.
a good player, yeah, that could also work, but he's not really playing at like the top level anymore for some weird reason. Julian Weigl that used to play for Dortmund back in the day. He used to be like that midfielder that used to sit and still play like a really good ball and find a bomb angle over the top. And he actually played underneath Tuchel. He wouldn't be a bad. I was still taking to be honest, because he's actually a very good midfielder. But he just got like dispatched off to Benfica recently, because I think when Jude Bellingham and there's like such a good midfielders like Witsel and Thomas Delaney and that had a really good season last season. He can't get in that midfield now, so he had to go. But I personally believe that if he had to come to Chelsea, we gave him that role to sit alongside Kante, and he has passing range that's really, really good as well. He could be like a Fabregas, Matic type of player for us, like mixed in one. Like Matic, the guy that will sit, and then Fabregas, the one that can ping the ball over the top. We'll have like all in one. That's a player I really like. I wouldn't mind him. Julian Weigl or like a Joshua Kimmich.
all right, well, before we go any further, because we've just been going.
Look at the
Wait. Vitmus, chat to me about the game, please, because you've been sitting there for 15 minutes. You ain't even had the chance to speak yet, for fuck's sakes. Talk to me about the game, bro.
Yo, the game honestly wasn't a good performance, but I'm not gonna criticize the players too much. I think if we would really look at it, like everyone, like we didn't have a good game. There was not one person, maybe Kepa, but everybody else was like off. Like it I don't know what the problem is. Maybe, as Tuchel said, that we don't want to get in over our heads and try to do too much and it affects how we want to really play. It could be a case of that, but also the field, the pitch. Looking at the pitch and how the players were trying to control the ball on their first touch, the pitch was awful, man. When I was doing my watch along, someone said that it looks like a pitch from Jamaica, and I was like, yeah, man. No, for real.
Bro, a bit bumpy in that, bro. It gave me throwbacks to the New England Revolution game that Loftus-Cheek got injured at.
Bro, the pitch was awful, man. So the pitch added to the poor touches and the movement of the ball was like we couldn't pass the ball the way we know we could pass it. So I'm not gonna put a lot of the blame on the pitch, because I think the players could have still done a little bit better. But as we've said in the past, it doesn't matter how we win. I thought the goal was offside, but in the end it wasn't. So, I mean, it's just football, man. The next game we play, we might look 10 times better. We must forget that. We can't forget
we also
play together. They have not really played together in this three at the back formation. If we really look at the 11 that played together, how many of them like played together in this system since Tuchel has took over? So this was just another training session for the guys to get to know they each other playing under the system. So I'm not gonna really pressure the guys at all. I mean, good win. Thank God we didn't have to go for a replay or whatever, extra time, whatever it would have been. But credit to Barnsley as well. I don't know one of credit them, but they played excellent. Like they pressed us. They did it. To me, they pressed us better than even Sheffield the other day. I think their press today was more impressive than the way our Sheffield pressed us, because they played the same formation as us to match how Tuchel has wanted to play. So this manager of Barnsley did his homework on Chelsea, and they did good. You get me? If we really look at the game, man, we could not play the ball comfortably. Everywhere we passed the ball, they were all over us, pressing us, forcing us back, forcing mistakes. Like we passed the ball outside like 3-4 times in the first half, in the first 15-20 minutes. Most of our passes, it's either we cleared it up the field or it went outside. So credit to Barnsley and credit to Chelsea as well. Big credit, because even though the pitch wasn't that good and we weren't playing at our best, we still managed to give a okay performance to win the game, because Tammy Abraham got the goal and that goal line clearance. So it was a good game for the Chelsea, even though we didn't play that well. So up the Chelsea as always, man.
Yeah, I do want to ask you as well, because I think this game was a perfect example of why Jovic both together need to stop getting given the amount of criticism that they've been having in so long. I wanted to let you have your flowers on that, bro.
Yo, as I said, I'm not gonna use this game to really have a dig at Kante and Billy. I think as I said, the pitch did not work to Billy Gilmore. As he could see, he wanted to do his little turns, and every time he controls the ball or the ball was passed to him, it was like up. It was not flat on the ground. Yeah. So the pitch didn't work for Billy Gilmore, and I think he will be saying the same thing now in the locker room to maybe a few of his teammates, that the pitch was awful as well, as we could see. Kante, to me, Kante didn't have such a bad game. I thought Kante played well. He made a few bad passes, but apart from that, I think he played well in the midfield, in my opinion. But I still want to see Kovacic and Kante playing that pivot, because I know you say we need a natural DM. I know we need a natural DM, but if Jorginho and Kovacic can play so good together in that midfield, and Jorginho is not even that what would I say, like of a defensive player, more than he's just there. He just makes up number in the midfield when it comes to the defensive side of things. So I don't see why Kante and Kovacic can't play in that midfield either. Any one of the two, like Kante, Kovacic, Kante, Jorginho, but we need to get Kante back to his best. And I think, I think Tuchel is thinking about playing Kante back. If we can see, he was even the captain today, man, general. So you see the little Frenchman
And
walking
also,
the arm. I'm like,
also,
yes, Kante. Yeah.
Kante just came back from injury as well, so you
I
can't
want
even
to
look
see
too much
Kante, man.
into it.
I want
So
to see
like,
Kante and Kova.
I think
Kante, I don't matter.
Right,
I think
Go on.
Kante and Kova is a good shout. I think
Yeah,
that would work. Again,
we
especially
need him.
coming up. For me, it's all about this Atletico game, right?
Yeah.
Like the games that are coming up, whatever. I don't think we're gonna be able to guess that starting 11, right? But that
Yeah.
Atletico game, we can try and get like a kind of we can kind of try to sort of figure it out. I want to see Kante and Kovacic, but until that time, I really want Kovacic to just nail down that final through ball. Because if he has that, oh man, we have a problem on our hands.
Yeah,
We have a problem on our hands if he gets that final through ball, man.
but
It's gonna be so good.
if
That's the only thing.
yeah, go on. Wait, you finished? Sorry, you can't. You finished?
You broke up for a sec. Finish your point, bro.
Yeah, you broke up. Dog.
Yeah, I finished it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, go for it.
All right. You see, now we have a point still with Kovacic. If he can get the final pass going, then yeah, everything will look good. But if we really look back at since Tuchel has taken over as the manager, Kovacic going forward with those passes has improved. It's not at the level where we'd want it to be, but it is getting better. Even in that
Especially last game, dude,
Yes.
he was making passes. I saw them. No, because
Yeah.
I was talking to Scott about it the last game. It was like we wanted him again. That's why I was mentioning these next 2 weeks that we have until the Atletico game, because in the 1 week under Tuchel, he's already improved that passing, right? So in this next 2 weeks, if he's able to finalize it and nail it down and really get the confidence to always use it,
Yeah.
I mean, we should be. I think we'll have a better chance of breaking down that Atletico defense if he's able to do that. Because I
We
feel
gotta be clinical in that game, though. We must be clinical. Like honestly, I'm gonna be completely honest, one player that I know that I will play against Atletico, I've been saying this, is Giroud, because at least I know Giroud will put away a chance if it's put in front of him. I can't trust Bambi to do that. No, I can't trust Timo Werner to do that based on his form at the moment. But for now, if we're going into Atletico game, we gotta play Giroud. If it's Giroud and Werner, fine. But Giroud gotta play. You gotta be clinical against Atletico.
Yeah, I was thinking that we were gonna have okay, just bear with me because I'm talking about current form. I was thinking that we have the defense is basically figured out except for the wingbacks. I think Hudson-Odoi is gonna be on the right side. I think we're probably gonna end up seeing Chilwell on the left as well because he has the most. I wouldn't say
no, bro.
experience,
God
but
no.
I feel like he'd be able to deal with it. He'll be able to deal with their attack more than the other two, right? But then I think we're gonna have Giroud up top, Werner to the left, and then Mount to the right. Just on current form, I think that's how they're gonna do it. And
honestly, I don't like the 3-4-3. I think the way we played against Sheffield. I mean I don't mind the back three, but I don't like the way he set it out against Sheffield. Like the wingers, I think we should use wingers. We should use cams. In the first 2 games he used, I think it was a Burnley game, and what was the other game after the Burnley game? He used against Tottenham. It was Tottenham.
Wolves?
No, Wolves was before. I think
it was after the Burnley game was Tottenham.
Yeah, in those 2 games he used 3-4-2-1. That's what we should play. You see that wing space, we don't need to have actual wingers out there because that's why we have the full backs, the wing backs to go up and down that line. I think we need to have Giroud or whosoever with 2 cams behind him to link up, and then we can use our wing backs, Alonso or Chilwell or Hudson-Odoi on the right to make those wing runs, those wing plays. Yeah. I don't think we need.
That's why I wanted to use Mount. That's why I wanted to use Mount on the right side.
Mount can play behind.
I'd start Ziyech, bro. We need that creativity. I'd start Ziyech.
Yo, honestly, Ziyech.
Again, I was just talking about. I just said current form, but again, in these next 2 weeks, Ziyech shows that he's performing better than Mount. Of course, put Mount. I mean,
we'll see Ziyech.
As much as we love Ziyech, he's not performing, and I'm wondering if he's going to survive under Tuchel, brother.
I think he will, because he is. Again, I feel like the most important thing, like this is what happened. This is why I'm glad Frank bought the players that he bought. because within every single player, they're versatile and they can play different positions, except for the defenders and the goalie, of course.
Yeah, of course.
The rest of the players, they're very versatile. And under Tuchel, if you're versatile, you will survive.
Bro.
That's why I'm hopeful for them. Because Ziyech can play on the left, he can play on the right, he can play in the camp.
Listen, we can't be reactionary when it comes to Ziyech, man. He's one of our greatest. He's one of our best players in the team. And plus, Atletico are going to sit deep, so we're going to need that creativity. So we need to start this player.
Yeah.
Tuchel is not a manager that likes his players to be lazy. He likes everyone run, bro. We are talking about a professional and experienced manager. These managers don't care how good you are on the ball, just like Pep Guardiola. If you are not up to task, Virgin, and doing what he has asked you to do, you will not make the team, brother. It don't matter how good you are. You have to do your job that you are required from the manager. So if Ziyech is not going to help press and all of that, and if I am Tuchel, if that's the broken link in my chain, I have to fix it. If he's not going to work with my system, he can't make the team, bro. We love Ziyech. I love him. I think he's a very good player, but he has to press and help the team in that shape that everyone is. If we look at the difference, he doesn't do what Mount and everyone else does.
I feel like it's the same problem.
Yeah. That's been a bit harsh, because like he hasn't played a lot of minutes on Thomas Tuchel, so he hasn't perfected the role that Tuchel wants from him as yet. And plus, like, he was out of the team. He's now coming back into a team against a championship that's going to run actually, that's going to be competitive on a poor pitch.
No,
but to be honest, bro, he's gonna come well, bro, because like
bro.
Look at Neymar bro. He's similar to Neymar. Take away the explosive pace that Neymar has as opposed to Hakim Ziyech. Like,
bro. Don't compare Neymar with Ziyech.
Not just compare Neymar.
He's comparing the work rate. It's a fair point because we went
that's
up
what I'm
and
trying
down
to say.
in 2015 when Hazard wasn't tracking back from Mourinho. He wasn't saying this, man.
No. Hold on. Ziyech has good work rate. We're not saying he doesn't have good work rate. We're saying if Mount has better work rate, he will get on the pitch.
He will get the play. Exactly.
He'll get on the pitch before him.
Oh, okay.
The problem, we're not saying he's a bad player. We're just talking about again, he just came off the injury as well. So if he can't get as much running as Mount can, Mount was going to get on the pitch before him.
Exactly.
I agree now. Yeah, I agree.
But you know what I think?
Agree,
Like, I think Hudson-Odoi will probably have that right wing back thing locked off, and then I don't think he'll go for Mount as a cam. I think Mount's guaranteed to play. I don't think he'll go with Mount and then two strikers because there's not enough creativity there in it. We saw it at the first half of Sheffield. So I think you have Mount there, and then probably one of Werner, Giroud, or Abraham, and that. Like, I don't even mind who plays there. And then you have that other position that's going to be between Havertz, Ziyech, and Pulisic as well to fight for that position.
Havertz going to be fit by then.
Bro, like,
probably in it. Bro,
the problem with our team.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, I'm saying we don't create without him, bro. We need the creator in the team. Like Mount is good. He's probably an informed player. He has to be in the team. Hold on, bro. He's one of our most informed players. I'm not saying that he's not, but to accommodate him, you need the creator on the pitch. We don't create anything, bro. And Ziyech that's what he's here for. He's here to create. And I understand a bit more what you were saying about he needs to prove himself off the ball, or else he's not going to get picked, and that's 100% true. But Tuchel needs to start thinking about this. He needs to start accommodating these players that give us these creative outlooks in the team.
Yeah.
No, but
you can't be
look on this. Oh, in a football team, bro, you can't have 3-4 players that don't press in the way that we want to play. You can't have that. You cannot have it. So if we are looking at a fit Havertz is not someone who will press neither, but he will run back and try to press. But he's not a Mount that is going to run until he's breathless.
Yeah.
So you can't have Ziyech, and you can't have Havertz, and you can't have Pulisic. All of them, man, will now go press like the way the manager wants him to press. You can't have 2-3, bro. Mbappe run back. Neymar stay forward or does a little press. Okay. But Mbappe doesn't stay forward and wait on the ball either. He comes back and help PSG press. You get me? Neymar doesn't press, but he tracks. That's a difference. So we can't have 3 persons in the midfield tracking around. Like tracking and say, okay, I'm just going to make it look like I'm pressing. That cannot work, Bridging. You get me?
Again, if Kovacic nails down that final through ball, he can be that creative player that we need. So it's all about us progressing and all about the team evolving into what we need come game time.
Listen,
right?
I'm not saying Ziyech has to play every game, bro. I'm just saying people are writing him off like he's only gonna get a game against flipping a third round team in the FA Cup. I think there's still space for Ziyech in this team, but is there space for him to play week in, week out? I don't believe that.
No.
Is there a space? You don't think you can make the team at times, bro?
You have a point, but let me show you this, brother. If Ziyech play good, then why shouldn't he play in the week in, week out?
Sometimes you just can't use him, bro.
No,
sometimes
bro.
if you get pressed,
Once a player in form, my G, and he's playing good, once he's not injured, he has to play every game unless you're going to rest him for a game. Say we have a game before.
Why? How many times have we seen a player play good one game and the next game he plays bad, bro? Like if we see Ziyech play good against flipping Atletico, who's gonna put 10 men behind the ball, and then we're playing Man City next, bro, or Liverpool next, and then he's gonna have to drop deep and help out.
No rest De Bruyne unless him injured, bro. So we are say.
But they got midfielders.
For you have a star player, bro, and he's playing, bro. No disrespect, Ryan, but from you have a player that's playing good, you can't rest him unless you have an important game. When Messi is in form. Messi doesn't get rested.
Yeah, bro,
Messi don't get rest, bro, unless they're injured.
Messi's different. He can concede 9 own goals and he still plays.
No, it don't matter, man. Bro, did we rest Hazard? We don't rest Hazard either, bro. Once a player is in form and they can get the job done for you, they have to play week in, week out, bro.
Not only do you not take out the player that's in form, you switch your tactics to accommodate for that player once he's in form. Like what you're talking about, Kozilla, about how we have to accommodate for him in the pitch and everything. Once he starts performing and he starts seeing these crosses that he does and the play style that he does, he's going to realize that, okay, we're going to need to play around this guy. So first, Ziyech has to prove himself, and then we can build the team around him. And like that's still what we're looking for. Like if you guys, we don't have a strong 11. We don't have a first 11.
Yeah, but I still want to see Ziyech. I still want to see Jorginho and Kovacic, and then Ziyech in front, and then I want to see Ziyech against the team that's gonna put 10 men behind the ball. I'd love to see Ziyech against Newcastle with Jorginho.
I want to see Ziyech too. I want to see, bro. You don't think I want to see Ziyech as that man behind the striker that's gonna play. But if he's not playing up to par, bro, you can't play him. In the situation where we are right now, trying to finish top 4 and trying to get past Atletico Madrid, we can't be trying players again. Like you have to prove themselves. You
have to contextualize things as well. Like we played against a Barnsley team that was pressing us really hard, and we had Kante and Gilmore, who Kante couldn't really play through the press. And you were speaking about the pitch as well, bubbling everywhere. Ziyech had to come through as well. Do you not think he would have? Do you not think if you look at the Newcastle game, do you not think you can give him another chance there?
Of course, I'm not having a go at Ziyech for this game. I'm talking even in that Wolves game where we drew at Stamford Bridge. He didn't play that well either. He didn't have a good game.
I think it was decent.
You know what, guys? I think it's a good problem to have, man. Like all these constructive criticisms and like all this debate we're having about our squad depth. We're in a good position there, man. Like we can drop out Mount, we can drop out Havertz, we can drop out Ziyech, and we're still going to be good. We can drop out Pulisic. We have different options, and now it's on Tuchel to adjust what players he plays.
Yeah. But I think any players we play in that front line, I wouldn't be angry. Like I would have been like, maybe you could have played this player here, but I think we got players who, I want to say, are on form, but can be on form and that. So, like, if Pulisic, if like Kai Havertz is playing over Ziyech, I won't be that bothered in that because there's still quality to replace quality. You get me? So, one shot against
one second. Babs, who do you lot draw in the quarterfinals?
Them that we don't know. Tell me. They need to answer.
You are my guy, bro. It's a bit
I can't lie. Like, look, Babs in that, bro. Like, you're gonna have to grind out 3 points. That's something Arsenal can't do, bro. When you man are playing dead, you can't grind out.
That man can't even play with 11 players on the pitch, man. Let's.
Like, it's a miracle if you have 11 there, bro.
Yo, may I say something right now? Lewis, just do it. Just take a little nibble and leave them because this is what we did last time. when they were shit.
I'm just here for the little banter. Bab's going to be here tomorrow anyway for Premier League pandemonium.
Now we have a manager. Now we have a manager. Now
we're 8 points clear again. Big up Prego28 in the comment section as well. My guy. I might shout you as well for tomorrow, but I'll see what you're saying anyway, bro.
Did you enjoy the final last year? No,
did you enjoy the final last year? I enjoyed this year's final, bro. This year's final, bro. No Anthony Taylor tax on this one. You already know, my bro.
Arsenal not even going to finish in the top half of the table, so I ain't even looking at
They need to chat to Leeds and them, man.
Yeah, Leeds and them, man.
You man need an iPad.
Brighton and Fulham and them, man. You already know. We can say that because we're Chelsea. We ain't going to this one now. We got the manager, bro. So yeah, Brighton and Fulham and them, man. That's
when last Arsenal played freaking Champions League, brother? Just do some
5
homework.
years in October.
I think Van Persie was still there. I think Van Persie was still there.
When Barca hit them out. Of course,
exactly. We're going to end it here because I've got to go set up the live phone and we're going to be live on Blues Fans TV in another 15 minutes. So, guys, you check that out, bro. But until then, guys, smash the like and subscribe button. Check out Vitmus's channel in the title. Check out Ryan's title in the description below as well. Check it out. Smash the like and subscribe button. And we will see you guys tomorrow for another live stream. Take care. And up the Chelsea, as always.